G'day, it's Jamie and welcome to Tantanoola Tigers. Today I'm reading a subscriber's letter they've written to me about their 2014 Thylacine sighting in northeastern Tasmania. So we'll get into it. They write, "G'day Jamie, I would like to remain anonymous please, or I may get harassed otherwise. During late October-November each year, I try to fish numerous northeastern rivers in Tasmania for sea-running trout that follow whitebait into estuaries and up the little rivers and inlets. In 2014, I was 30 years old and I drove to a private property I had been to a few times prior. I parked the car beside the river, chucked the waders on and rigged up a soft plastic and slowly waded up and beside the river, flicking into deeper pools and eddies along the way. As I'm wading along in heap-deep water casting ahead, I heard a faint, strange growling noise, similar to what some dogs make while thrashing a toy around. I paused casting and tried to listen in. Then, suddenly, I see about 40 to 50 metres up ahead of me what looked to be a thylacine hop down from the 2-foot embankment, walk across the 4 to 5 metre wide river and hop up the other side back into the thick fern that overhangs. It was either carrying a small snake or eel in its mouth. Where it crossed the river, the water was about 1 foot deep and had small river pebble and slate bottom. I could make out a darker back end, but there was patchy sun breaking through the trees. What really stood apart from the eel or snake hanging from the mouth was the long rigid tail and the way it hopped up the bank to get out of the river. Also, it seemed a little different to a normal dog's movement. It did not look in my direction. I'm not sure if it was even aware of my presence, as I was moving very slowly in the water. It just trundled straight across the river. Although I had a camera phone with me, I was too busy trying to comprehend what I was seeing. The thought really didn't enter my mind to get it out until it disappeared into the ferns. And even so, I might not have had time to get my jacket zipper undone before it was gone. I made my way up to the section where it crossed, but the ferns and snags were too dense for any footprints. With no evidence, I have only ever told a handful of people it was what it is. Thanks, Jamie. Regards, Anonymous. The end. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks very much for sharing that story. I would have loved to have seen what you saw. I like how you heard the strange growling noise, and I wish I heard that too. And it was cool that you saw either an eel or a snake in its mouth, which would have been so cool to see. I like how you mentioned a long, rigid tail, and you said that the way that it hopped up the bank to get out of the river, that seemed different to a dog's movement, which is really interesting. And I totally get you were too busy to comprehend what you were seeing and you couldn't get your phone out, because I've been in situations like that myself, and it's like everything slows down to a freeze and you're like concrete and you can't move at all. All really awesome, and thanks very much again for sharing your story. Okay, that's it for me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.